Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Scandal Season 7, Episode 7, and the name of this episode is Something Borrowed, and this is the winter finale. Sorry this video is late, y'all. I've been really under the weather. If you've seen some of my previous, y'all seen some of my previous videos, y'all know I was really struggling. But I'm getting a lot better, so I'm glad to finally get this out to you guys. But just letting you know I haven't forgotten all of you, and again, I thank you for all the love and support you've shown me. Before I get started, let me give my love and condolences to everyone that was affected by the tragedy in Texas, as well as Las Vegas, and everyone that was affected by Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Jose, and Maria. If you can give any kind of relief or support to people that were affected by these tragedies, please do so, because we definitely need to help each other. So, let me begin with this review. Now, the episode opens up, we actually found out how Quinn got abducted. We literally see her in the elevator in her wedding dress, and we see that she's pregnant, and the elevator's going up, and we actually see that there's someone that actually stops the elevator, literally crawls down, and literally puts chloroform on her, and she passes out. So she was literally abducted in the elevator itself. And the question is, it had to be someone of really deep military skill to pull that off. So I can honestly say for myself, it pretty much was obvious to me who could have taken her, and definitely we find out that that person that actually abducted her is Rowan. But we actually, but a lot took place before they found that out. Also, we see in this episode, Charlie is really just distraught. He's already believing the worst, that she's possibly dead, because she's been missing for a minute, and no one has any leads. I mean, Huck is actually trying to find out some stuff too. He's trying to put fillers out there, but then Charlie's like, if she hasn't turned up by now, I don't think she ever will. And then we actually see he has a scene with Olivia where he's talking with her about, because they actually found had found the lead on a dead woman who was 9 months pregnant, who had brunette hair in Germantown. He actually goes there thinking that it's actually Quinn, but comes to find out it wasn't her. But it's just putting him on the edge. And we actually see he has a moment with Olivia when he's talking to her, and he's saying that, honestly, do you think that she's still, pretty much he asks Olivia to be straight up with him, like, do you really think she's dead? And Olivia pretty much, strokes him and lets him know that, she's going to be fine, and then Charlie's like, yeah, because she's so much better, she was so much better than me. And, Olivia's like, no, she is better than you. And that kind of gives Charlie some type of confidence that, that it's a possibility that Quinn could turn up. But as soon as Charlie leaves, we see Olivia is literally shaking, putting her keys, because she knows damn well Quinn being missing is all because of her and what she has done. And due to the fact that Quinn was investigating it, that's what got her, that's what pretty much got Quinn caught up. Because we all know, Quinn knows that Olivia was behind the bombing of that plane. Now, with that being said, I'm going to talk about Millie. Millie right now is getting everything set up for this nuclear treaty, and things are coming together. We also see that Fitz, and I pretty much hypothesized this, Fitz's ass didn't leave, and he didn't. But he's now at a distance, because now that Millie has put those restraints on him, he can't just go up to the White House anytime he wants to. But we have a scene with him and Marcus. Him and Marcus are trying to pass this bill which will actually stop mass incarceration of black men. And you can definitely tell this is definitely all Marcus, but Fitz is behind it, and Marcus is like, you should definitely take this up to Millie, because Millie can get this through. And he said that, look, I can't even get close to Millie. I literally have to meet with this woman, Geraldine, in order to see our son, Teddy. I'm not even able to get any access to her. So Marcus goes up there to see her. and he, you know, they talk about the nuclear treaty and everything and how excited she is, and he lets her know he's proud of her, but then he also introduces this legislation, you know, well, this bill that they're trying to pass, and he's like, oh, isn't this a part of, you know, Fitz's institution? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I can't do this. And Marcus is like, look, I know you have, you know, issues with Fitz, but I was hoping that a person of your caliber can rise above it and do what needs to be done. So this really pissed Millie off. So like, okay, so first of all, you're coming up here to ask me for a favor, and then you're judging me based off of my relationship with Fitz. She's like, get out, Marcus. So she pretty much puts Marcus out, but Marcus leaves a copy of the bill with her, and she starts to read through it. And then we see later on, her and Fitz actually meet, and she actually agrees that she's gonna push forward, you know, his legislation. So that worked out. Then, you know, with all this going on, we see that Olivia is working with Jake, and they know that they pretty much know that with Quinn being gone, they both are scot-free because Quinn knows the truth. And on top of it, they have to figure out who all the people she talked to, because the one person that she was, you know, talking to was Curtis Price. So we actually get a scene where Curtis Price, and we see Olivia walking down this hallway, is making us think that Olivia is about to go meet Curtis, but she actually doesn't go meet Curtis. Curtis actually meets Olivia's secretary, and pretty much says that I have information for you, and you know, you have to promise that, you know, Olivia can't find out about this. And the next thing you know, we see. Next thing you know, after that, we see that she calls Jake, you know, Olivia's assistant, secretary. She calls Jake and was like, it's done. And then we see Curtis Price is straight up dead. And that was a crazy situation. But then they was doing this at the same time, making us think that Olivia was going to go see Curtis, but that's not who she went to go see. She went to go see her damn mother. And Mama Pope was like, oh, Libby, what a pleasant surprise. I was laughing because I love me some Mama Pope. Because Mama Pope be having them lines like, girl, you need to move on. Girl, bye. You know, she's like that one parent that just tells it to Libby like it is. I mean, just like her dad, but the way her mother does it is just so funny, and it's just cunning of how she comes off at her. So she pretty much tells her mother about, you know, because we actually find out that it was Papa Pope who took Quinn, and he took Quinn, you know, as a form of bargaining chip to get Olivia to bend to his rules. Like, he wants his freedom, and he wants his bones back. So you take a living human being for some bones, Papa Pope? Really, Negro? And she's not backing down, but she knows that, you know, time is ticking, and if she doesn't do anything, Quinn could die. And Quinn is also her friend. So she's sitting back and talking to her mother about it, and mother's funny, she's like, oh great, what you and your father are up to now? It's like, this doesn't surprise me, you two are always going back and forth with each other. But she's like, but then Olivia's like, I need you to help me in this situation. Mama Pope was like, what's in it for me? And then she starts going in like, so then all of a sudden Olivia's like, look, you're either going to help me or not. So choose right now. Are you going to be my mother, or are you going to be a bitch? And I was like, ooh, damn, Olivia. You're just getting real buck with everybody since you became command. And then her ass was going to get up and leave. Mama Pope laid it on, was like, sit your dramatic ass down. I was like, yes! Excuse me. That was so hilarious. Because she immediately, like, shut Olivia down. And she's like, look, let's be real. You know damn well at the end of the day, with Quinn dying, that's going to take you immediately off the hook. So, because if anything, if you really wanted to get Quinn off, you would just give him what he wants, and Quinn would be right back in your possession. But you know damn well, with Quinn being gone, that frees your ass. So here's my advice to you. Do nothing and let the bitch die. And I was like, damn. But she gave it to her straight. Because, yeah, Quinn was about to expose, you know, the whole thing. What happened with the bombing of President Rashad's plane. And then we also get a scene between Millie and Olivia. You know, Millie, you know, because Olivia is literally going through it this whole episode. She's having panic attacks. She's called Jake over. You know, they drinking wine. She's asking Jake what she should do, and pretty much Jake just let her know, like, look, if you really want complete command, you're gonna have to kill your dad. And she's like, there's got to be another way. She's like, there is no other way. He's gonna keep coming for you. So the only way you're gonna stop him is by taking him out. And then like, pretty much she was also saying the same thing, that, look, you know, Quinn got something on you. But then she's like, yeah, I know that, but Quinn's my friend. So there's this big debate going on with that. So, you know, it just gets to the point where, Jake just tells her straight up that, look, you either gonna be command or you're not. You need to make a choice. So we also see in this episode that Cyrus now is coming to terms with a lot of what went down with Fenton, because we see that Abby goes to visit him in the White House, and he has this really nice smelling candle that Fenton had gave him, because Fenton, after being attacked by Charlie, has went to the mountains up in Montana to recuperate. And he pretty much gave him this big candle, but it has a very strong scent. And he was saying that, burn this candle to remind, so every time you burn this candle, you'll think of me. So, but, Cyrus is kind of beside himself, because he's like, why did they even attack him? And Abby kind of admits that, look, according to NSA, he was tied to one of the guys that flew the plane, but, one of the guys that was working on the plane that day, but there was no connection that he had anything to do with the explosion. So, pretty much, Cyrus calls himself going to Jake, challenging Jake, like, you mean to tell me that you're supposed to be the top of intelligence, but then yet you framed an innocent man, and this man took some brutal hits off of something he didn't even do? And then Jake was just playing with it, that, look, hey, and when it comes to intelligence and it comes to security, we have to take no prisoners, and hey, we made a bad judgment call, but hey, it happens. So then later on, after, Curtis Price goes missing, and they're reporting that he's missing, but he's actually dead. But we actually see that they're reporting it, that about Curtis Price missing. Jake literally goes up to Cyrus and was like, well, you actually see that when you try to come for power, you end up going down. So kind of take this as a hint that, you should just stay in your lane and not try to become the big hero, because I'll annihilate your ass. Pretty much paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what Jake was telling them, that, look, stay in your lane or I'm going to fuck you up. So we saw that go down. So eventually, excuse me. Give me y'all, some of this still coming up. Alright, but so then we actually, so pretty much what Olivia decides to do is that she lets the time run out. Then all of a sudden, Jacob says that your father has summoned you. Time is up. She goes all the way to Daddy. She goes all the way to Daddy Pope's house. They go back and forth, and she literally just goes in and was like, "You don't summon me. I'm command. If anything, I summon you. Who the hell do you think you are to think that you can summon me?" And he's like, "Look, either I get my freedom and my bones back, or I'm gonna kill Quinn." And then he's saying, and then she's like, "You're not gonna kill Quinn." you, and she says, you don't even have them. And then he pulls the gun out on, so then he pulls out a gun and points it at Olivia. And Olivia's like, you don't have the balls to shoot me. He puts the gun down. He's like, yeah, I won't shoot you, but I'll definitely shoot Quinn. Next, you know, we see Olivia calls in, you know, to NSA and was like, look, I have a target. He's a 72-year-old African-American. He lives at this address. You know, within 20 minutes, if he does not, if you don't hear back from me within 20 minutes, annihilate him and shoot to kill. So I was like, she could literally put a hit out on her dad. And she says that, yeah, you got 20 minutes to deliver Quinn or she's dead. And he lets her know, well, you got 6 or I'm going to kill her. So, if anything, you know, she starts really digging into her father. It's like letting her know that, look, my whole, like, you up here are mad that I've become command and that I've turned into this monster, but you made me into this. You wanted me to be this all this time. That's the reason why you lied about my mother being dead, why you had me raised in a boarding school in Europe, and why you took away the only love of my life and you murdered his son. Like, you did everything to break me. You did everything to take away that good soft center that I once had, but I don't have that soft center anymore. So if you feel that killing Quinn is going to be good for the Republic, do what you have to do. And then he's kind of looking at her. He's like, "You're bluffing." She's like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "I can tell. You're not serious." And she's like, and she sits down. She's like, "Look, if killing Quinn is for the good of the Republic, do what you have to do." Next, you know, we see these fools go in the room, and we hear Quinn, no, please. And then we hear 2 shots, and Olivia just hearts jumped out her chest, because it was like the one good thing that probably still existed in Olivia died at that moment. So now, you not only have the death of President Rashad on your hands, you now also have the death of one of your best friends. Someone that you helped rescue and someone that you helped build up now has been torn down. So then after he comes back and he tells Olivia, you want to see the body? And that's where it ended. And I was like, wow, that is crazy as hell. Because it's all evident that Papa Pope wants to be in command again, and he wants to take that ring of power from her. You know, he's not, because we actually see Papa Pope is not the type that likes to be controlled. I mean, and if anything, you know, throughout this whole episode, her mother, even Jake, told Olivia the same thing that her father told her in the beginning of the season, that you can't have it all. And Papa Pope knows this better than anybody, because we saw in last season, he murdered the love of his life in cold blood, and it tore him apart. But as him maintaining command and him maintaining power, he wasn't going to let anything dominate him. So he was also kind of letting Olivia know that, look, certain situations may call for you to make certain decisions that you may not want to make, but you got to make them because you're command, and you can't have any emotional attachments. But yeah, I think it's going to get real crazy when Scandal comes back, and it comes back January 18th, so I'm definitely here for it. But it was a really good episode, y'all. But that's what I have. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, I started to GoFundMe. You can actually check that link in the description box, as well as my other social platforms. Definitely check me out. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the mid-season premiere Scandal. So until then, everybody, take care.